Bang! Neevesknives. I'm Jared, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Live on Neevesknives. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. I figure this is probably going to be a little bit of a slow show because it is St. Patrick's Day weekend. So I figure a lot of you guys are probably out getting her done. I actually did a little bar hopping this morning with my sisters. Every other Saturday, I hang out with two of my sisters. One of which I did not grow up with because I didn't know I had a sister. I had sisters, but I didn't know I had another sister. Well, one of my cousins did a 23andMe, and here to find out, I got a sister out there somewhere. This was after my dad passed away, so we never knew about her. My dad never knew about her either. The lady just took off and wound up giving birth and then adopting the child out, which is my sister. So I wound up recently meeting a new sister like 2 years ago, maybe like a year or two ago, and a nephew. So I have a nephew by her, and I have another sister that I do know that has a son the exact same age as my one sister, named the exact same name. Isn't that crazy? They never knew each other even existed, and they both have a son with the same name at the same age. It's crazy. But anyway, so two of my sisters I go out with every other Saturday. We go and go get something to eat, go do some sort of fun event. Since it was St. Patrick's Day in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Kenosha is well known for lit bars, so it's pretty well known for Rittenhouse too, but it's known for it's in the Guinness Book of World Records. It's got the most bars in a 1 block area. So the entire downtown area is just all bars. Not all bars, it's a ton of different stuff, but they have a bunch of bars. So we went and ate and hopped around to a couple bars, had a few drinks, nothing crazy, but it was a good time though. It was pretty lit down there though. There was a lot of people down there. A lot of people having fun. It's right by the lake. Like you could see the lake. We were going to walk the lake and get a picture. It was so windy though today. It was like crazy windy, but that's how my St. Patrick's Day went. And now back to work. But I used to go out all night every St. Patrick's Day. Like it was like a whole event. We got her done on St. Patrick's Day, but it's been a while since I've done that, which is probably a good thing. What's going on, guys? Who is that? Excelsior Trading. What's up, bud? How's everybody doing? I want to show you guys a couple things. So one really quick, I've seen this around. I honestly didn't know the name when I seen it a bunch of times, but it is appealing to me. But I'm gonna kind of talk a little shit about it. Not talk shit. You'll see. Anyways, this knife, the EK Integral Folder. I freaking love the way this thing looks, and I'll be honest, it's out of stock, so I can't buy it. But if I could, I might be tempted to buy it. It looks great. However, I have one huge thing with it. $400, and it's made by Keto. That's right. That doesn't make sense to me. I know we see Microtech doing that. The same thing. They're having Reich make them knives. It is an integral. So being an integral, it does kind of make sense. I don't know. It just seems a little bit pricey for a Reich knife. Maybe it's so good, and maybe there is a little, because it is all DLC. M390 is going to be a little bit more of affordable steel for that company to get. And I just look at all those little details, and see, like, is the money there? And I don't know, $400 is kind of standard procedure for an integral, but it is a damn good looking knife, man. I freaking like the way this thing looks. I want one. But yeah, $400 is tough. Hell no, 400 bones is just stupid. It is an integral, and it is DLC. So you got to get, and it's an Elishewitz design. So he is a well-renowned designer. St. Patrick's Day is your birthday? Well, happy birthday. That's awesome, man. Are you Irish too? I a guy gave me a Masters of Defense CQD Mark 1. I'd have to look that up to see exactly what that is. You seen that Riat PLXT? I don't know. Let me look it up really quick. You seen that Riat PLXT? Riat PLXT? I'm not. I don't think I found it. Let me try doing it like this. Oh, those budget knives. Yeah, I did see that. Actually, you know, it's funny that you mentioned that because I have a little something back here I want to present to you guys. If it'll come up. So this is coming soon. We'll check that the Riat out here in 1 second. So this is coming soon to Blade HQ. I want to take a look at a couple things. Bodacious, of course, it's still coming. So of course. But what I want to do is I want to scroll down and check this guy out. The Boker Solingen, whatever, EDK in MagnaCut, made in Germany. MagnaCut. It looks like it's a crossbar. It says crossbar, so it's a crossbar. It looks pretty good. It kind of looks like a Luft. I gotta admit, it does look like a Luft knife. Actually, it looks very similar to Luft designs, but it looks like a cool design. I like it, and it's only $135. Made in Germany in MagnaCut. The MagnaCut's probably on the softer side, but hey, let's scroll down a little bit more. The Boker Plus Advent calendar. There's a different one I want to show you guys. This is a new Cold Steel Swift 3, but it's spring assisted. I love this, the way this knife looks. If this wasn't assisted, I would be like all about it. M4 steel, $140. It's made in, oh no, it's made in China. That, oh wow. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. I thought it was going to be made in Taiwan. Huh. Not that big of a deal. Hollow grind M4. I love it. 4-inch blade. Damn, I want it. I hate assisted though. Can't do assisted. We got another one here. This thing looks pretty cool. It's a back flipper, so it's a regular flipper. You can see the little tiny flipper deal back there. Love the milling. Love the blade shape. MagnaCut titanium 237, made in Germany again. That's not too bad. Now, this is made in the USA. At least it should be. Let me just double check. Yes. Okay, now this in says right there. Made in the USA, MagnaCut. This is, in my opinion, a badass hard use knife. I've tried one of these out, and this isn't a knife that feels... Sometimes you can just grab a knife and you can just tell. You know what I mean? It does use a crossbar lock, which we know is a strong locking system, but they were able to tune the detent. SOG was the first ones to tune a detent on a crossbar lock. Great. They did it with the SOG Terminus, and that thing flipped great. This thing flips amazing. Like, it has great flipping action, but look at the jimping on top of jimping on top of jimping. The jimping has jimping on this knife, but damn it, is it tough. It's badass. It's hard use. It's a solid knife, and it's USA made, baby. So I love that. Now let's take a look really quick at the knife that old boy wants to check out, which is these guys. So there's a bunch of different color versions. This is an affordable knife from Riat. The thing is that a crossbar? Okay, it says it utilizes a pivot button lock, which you can think of similarly to a traditional button lock. For this knife, you pinch your fingers on the knife with your thumb over the pivot, releasing the blade because also it's the pivot. So this is a secondary lock. I thought this was the disengagement. So the pivot is how you disengage, and this must be a secondary lock. That's what I'm guessing. The handle has to be a little bit thicker than you might expect, but the blade deployment is smooth and the handle is surprisingly comfortable. Well, if it's thick, I expect it to be comfortable because that's usually the way it goes. Ooh, 117 for Nitro V though. That's tough. And it doesn't even have a titanium clip. I know it's Riat, but it's all budget materials. It's not titanium. it's steel and micarta with nitro V. I hate to say it. I mean, I love the new locking mechanism and I love to see Riat trying to innovate, but this is a $75 knife at best. You know, Riat does a really good job, but I doubt they're doing nitro V better than we, you know. They're both doing it at like 60 HR. I think Wee's doing it like 58 to 60. Nitro V, man, it's not going to be. I don't think you're gonna see that much difference between the two. Does it have a hollow or is this a flat grind? Doesn't say, does it? It looks like a flat grind, but it's hard to tell. I don't know. I like it. I do like it, but it's tough. That price is tough. My Wee Nefarious, exactly what I carried all day today. With the tiger stripes, just arrived today, and it is damn good. So I actually carried 3 knives today, which is crazy. I carried this Big Daddy. I had this Big Daddy, which is available on the site. We have a whole bunch of them. We actually probably bit off a little bit more than we could chew. But yeah, we do have the site filled up with every single version of the Jack Wolf knives. Gunslinger, if you guys want it, but I was carrying this, and then I was carrying the FLN. As you guys know, I just posted my full review on it, where I show, you know, a bunch of testing, and I talk about, you know, where the design comes from, why I designed it this way, or why we designed it this way, and how effective it is, how to use it, things to train for, and things like that. And check out the video if you haven't seen it yet. I posted it earlier. Why don't we see more combination steel blades? Gimmick or useful pairing of cutting edge and spine? What do you mean? Why don't we see more combination steel blades? What do you mean combination steel blades? Like San Mai? Is that what you mean? Sharpening talk. Okay, let's go. I'm a freehand guy, but I got the Worksharp Pro today. I get it now. So damn easy. Get amazing. Yes. I didn't say that. No, he did. I read his comment. Okay. Hey, he heard you, I'm sure. Anyways, I love that you said that you're a freehand sharpener, because you should always announce that right off the bat. Tell everybody, tell the world. If you're going to talk about your sharpening, you need a freehand, make sure you say it. That's how we know. But yes, man, it is easy to use a fixed angle sharpener, but it's better to do freehand if you can do it. And I say that because the more you do it, the longer you do it, the better you get. And I promise you, it is so rewarding when you get off over that hill. Like, even when you get from decent to good, that's an awesome feeling. But when you get from good to great, it's such a good feeling. And I'm not saying don't use fixed angled systems. Of course, use them whenever you want. But you can get as good as a fixed angled system. You actually can. You can get as good as a fixed angled system. It just takes a time. Like my edges, if I do a fixed angled edge and my freehand edge, they're damn near identical. There are some times where one looks better than the other for different reasons. Like sometimes on a fixed angled system, you can adjust for thicknesses. So sometimes that the bevel might look a little more wonky, not wonky, just bigger and smaller in areas that it might not if I did it freehand. And then every once in a while, you might freehand, you might do a little bit of convexing, and if you put it next to the fixed angled sharpening edge, you might see a little bit of difference in how flat the bevel is, but that also can benefit you with freehand. About the gunslinger last night, bought the gunslinger last night. My wallet is done for the week. Hell yeah. I hope you got it from the NEEVEKNIVECO site. Thank you for the support, Brandon. Which one did you get? I'm curious. Which one did you get? You ever get X on here since you were on his stream? Marine? Yeah, Marine was on here. We did a live together. We're gonna probably do another one again. I'm hoping we collab a few times. I'd like to do a recorded video, which I think will be very dope, where we actually have a video idea and we both spend about 5 to 8 minutes, 7 minutes on each of our parts, put them together. I think that'd be dope. I like that guy, man. He's a good dude. Me and him been staying in touch. I'm probably gonna well, I am gonna send him a bunch of stuff. Man, I meant to send him a bunch of shit the last time I shipped, and I accidentally left some stuff behind. But next time I ship, I'm gonna ship him a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, I'd like to continue working with him. Lefty said that most of their parts are made in the USA. He talked to them directly. Still way too much fucking money. What are made? What's made in the USA? What parts from what company? Blade HQ says Tecto is USA made. No, they're not. So Tecto parts supposedly are made in China and maybe a couple other countries, but mostly made in China. And then they're sent here in the United States and then built here. So they're assembled here, tuned here. They might have a couple things they get here because there are some parts, I guess, that they get from the USA. I don't know what, maybe hardware or something. I don't know. But anyways, so in order to call a knife USA made, it has to be 51% USA made. So it doesn't have to be 100%. It has to be 51% in order to say it's USA made. Now, in order to say 100% USA made, yes, it has to be 100% USA made. So, they make good knives though, Tecto. Hell no. 300 bones for FRN handle. Are you okay with it while you shit on a $400? What knife? $300? What integral? Or what FRN? Which knife was FRN? Are you talking about the USA made one? Yeah, of course. That's $300. It's MagnaCut, a super strong lock. That thing is very big. Like it's a big chunk of MagnaCut. It's not just like a little blade of MagnaCut. And it's USA made. Yeah, I think it's well worth that. I don't mind. So to me, like, I don't look at it like that. I look at it way differently. I look at the country of origin where it's made because of how much it costs to produce the product. You can't look at them all the same. You can't look at a company that costs more because we have insurance. We have a minimum wage, but not only that, we have livable wages. So we literally pay people good to work for our companies. We don't have slave labor. So where other companies do, and not saying that they all do that, but they rely on other companies that do. So like, just for an example, let's just say Riat or we, they're probably a great company with great workers that are all adults and all great, right? And they probably do great work, clean environment, that's sanitary and everything. However, the places they probably get a lot of their fucking parts from, where they get them pennies on the dollar, are probably some very suspicious places, if you know what I mean. So, you got to put all that stuff into consideration. Just like if you go to Taiwan, right? Taiwan's going to be more than China. Germany is going to be probably a little bit more than, or a little bit less than Taiwan, maybe a little bit more than China. I don't know. I don't really know Germany's shit, but you got to take it all into consideration. How much was what? I don't know what the hell that means. Be right back. Need to reset. All right. You reset and come on back. She's been talking shit in the background this whole time to you guys. Jared, check out the new Max Ace MagnaCut knife. They're advertising 50/90/60. Okay, so I want to talk about that. I'm actually going to bring this up to them. What was the name of it? Let me redo that. What was the name of it? Let me see if I can find it. But so I want to talk about what Max Ace said. You know what? Let's just read it. Fuck it. We're just gonna do this. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up the grams. Now listen, you guys know I like Max Ace. So I'm not dogging them out. I'm not talking shit. It might seem like I'm talking shit, but I'm not. I am just saying the truth. As soon as it pops up. Just give me 1 second. It's almost up. There it is. Okay, so you can read here. Max says about our heat treatment of MagnaCut steel. There have been a lot of discussions about the heat treatment of our MagnaCut steel recently, and a lot of it's from my videos. Thank you for your attention and suggestions on Max Ace. We have released some information below to respond to questions more comprehensively. Okay, we're going to scroll over to the next one. MagnaCut hardness testing. They tested at 62. The hardness of the blade samples for random inspection is between 60 and 62. Granted, this is one sample. Let's be clear, one sample. Same thing with Kershaw when they did the one at 64 the other day. Well, they're saying between 62 and 64. Do you not think they didn't test a few and grab the highest one? Of course they did. Most likely. I don't want to put that on them, but most likely they probably have a bunch of blades and they probably showed you the one that was a little bit higher. So this doesn't say 63 or 64. This says 62, which in my opinion should be the lowest for a folding knife. Max Ace, in many cases, not all, but in a lot of cases, they're using thick geometry, which we're going to get back to that. Next thing, some official documents from Dr. Laren on MagnaCut. Information comes from blah, 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 blah. Dr. Laren actually stated in his blog that the hardness of 60 to 64 is qualified for MagnaCut steel. Even just 60 to 61 achieves performance of the steel. Yeah, so this is the ridiculousness, and this is why I'm going to contact Max Ace and explain this, because they're a knife company, right? They're a fucking knife company. They should be paying attention to the not only the steel tests but the information coming out. And if you have a bunch of people from the community talking about this, then maybe you should do a little more research, because yeah, 60 to 64, that's because there's a wide variation of knives, right? You can have swords, you can have axes, you can have machetes, you can have chef knives, pocket knives, slip joints, lots of different examples, and they're going to be different. And he also says, you know what he says in that video? That if you want higher wear resistance, you go higher with the HRC. Higher HRC leads to higher wear resistance. And guess what else he says? At 65 HRC, it's still tougher than M390 at 61 HRC. It's still tougher than Van X at 61 HRC. So if we know that it's 65, it's either 64 or 65, it's still tougher than those steels that are regularly used at that heat treatment or that HRC that we never see snapping, we never see breaking. That would tell you that you should probably run it harder, right? That you should probably run it harder for more wear resistance. With a pocket knife, what are we looking for? Max Ace sometimes is looking for toughness. I don't want to take that from them. And I know there's another page. So I want to be clear. I know and I have seen this. I've seen Max Ace's videos where they are fucking really testing their shit. They're testing the locks. They're literally hard using it. So granted, when they're doing those hard use knives, I get it. 61 to 62, they're probably looking for a lot of toughness. However, they are also running thick geometry, which is where a lot of the toughness is going to come from. There's really not a real reason why they need to do both, right? The steel is already super tough. I'm not saying they need to run 65. I didn't say that. 62, 63. Let's say that, right? That way you're still in the tougher region and you have great edge retention, because yeah, obviously the harder it gets, the more edge retention gets. And now, but here's the thing, the thicker the geometry. So the thicker the geometry, the lower the edge retention. The thinner the geometry, the higher the edge retention. The lower the heat treatment, the lower the edge retention. The higher the HRC, not heat treatment, the HRC, the higher the HRC, the higher the edge retention. So there's two things to balance off there, right? There's really no reason to do both on the low side, right? For toughness on a folding knife. Now, with some of their knives with 2 and 3 and fucking 8 locks on it, you know, to damn near be a fixed blade, that they're wanting to be able to baton through a brick. Okay, that's cool, but they're using a lot of knives that aren't that. So that's some of their knives. Anyways, just my opinion. Let's read this last little part really quick, because I hate to say all this and then not read this. The unexpectedly high corrosion resistance from the elimination of chromium. I'm not reading all that. Steels like Van X or LC200N typically can only reach 60 to 61 HRC. Okay, while this steel can reach 64 plus while being more corrosion resistant than even steels like 20 CV and S45, on the other end of the spectrum, ZDP 189, which can reach 68 HRC, but is in fact not stainless. The only steel that has similar hardness corrosion resistance balance to MagnaCut is S110V, though its hardness is higher in part from high carbide value. MagnaCut does not have to be heat treated to 65, nobody said that, but has the potential for certain knives, and its heat treated hardness levels, the 62 to 64, is relatively easy. Yeah, but that's what people are arguing for. People aren't arguing for 65. People are arguing for 63. You say 62 to 64. Okay, so 62 to 64. Why would you do 58 to 60? Because originally I seen the thing was 58 to 60. Then it might be six. Then I think seen it as 60 to 61, I think. And now they're saying what did they say originally? Let me go back to the there's more. Hold on a second. We also found him himself posting a video on YouTube 25 and explaining whether it's feasible for some knife manufacturers to choose 61 steels because they are concerned the 63 is too hard. Of course, there's going to be some applications for that, right? There's going to be applications for all kinds of different things. We're talking about folding pocket knives that if you're looking for toughness, like and I mean like real toughness, I'm not talking about a tough knife. I'm talking about doing stupid shit with your knife. If you want to be able to do stupid shit, yeah, maybe you might want it a little bit on the softer side. But a lot of their knives have such thick geometry that you're getting it. Down, I tried to talk to them and what is that? I tried your recommendation heat treating on S35 and I got 63 HRC. I think that's too hard for this knife. Can I temper the 500? What is this about? That will put you into the temper. Anyways, let me go to the next thing. MagnaCut knife feature 61 is not. He never said it was garbage. Of course, it's not garbage. See, this is where people take some of his words and are I think they run with it. So it's like, okay, you're going with the lower part rather than the higher part, because he did say with higher HRC comes higher wear resistance, which equals higher edge retention, also equals sharper edges, also equals ease of sharpening, also equals ease of deburring, also equals everything better, right? For the most part. Obviously, there's a tipping point, but why, if we know that, and those are the things he said, why would you go to the low side when it says it's not garbage? No shit, it's not garbage. We're not, nobody, it's not garbage, but it's just not as good, right? So that's the thing. Like, you know, it's just kind of frustrating because there's so many people out here talking about this and testing it, and you know, so many companies running it harder. So in order to argue, you'd be debating that the other companies are all doing it bad, right? Or you're doing, because either one, you're saying mine is optimal or theirs is optimal. Which one's optimal? Which one's the better one, right? Because one of them is, you know, now you could say for different applications, yeah, there's going to be a difference, right? But we're still talking about folding pocket knives here. ProTech doesn't do, you know, their knives in most cases are pretty tough. Hogue, pretty tough knives. Chris Reeves, pretty tough knife. You know, you can go on and on. There's a lot of companies that do pretty tough knives. So, anyways, he treated 61 HRC. Oh, it's not garbage, yeah, of course. All right, let me see if there's another page. Damn, he did a lot of pages. I didn't realize there was this many pages. Quoted from the original video comment area on YouTube. What you said at the end of the video is key. I can't read this thing. I gotta scoot in. Sorry, guys. I first thought to myself when I saw that White River had special run of the M1 knife and MagnaCut's 59 to 60 Rockwall that was way too low. They aren't anywhere near the resistance, toughness, sweet points for the steel. Then I watched the video. It gets cut off though, so you can't read the whole thing. What you said at the end of the video is key. I first thought to myself when I oh, never mind. He wrote it right here. I'm an idiot. So HLO, they aren't anywhere near the wear resistance / toughness sweet points for this steel. Then I watched this video, and it is what you say. As long as they have taken the proper steps during heat treat, it should end up being tough and truly stainless. I did hear some people argue that they want to hold more stainless. So the lower HRC with MagnaCut does hold more stainless. It's already so corrosion resistant. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe some companies would rather have corrosion resistance over edge retention. I don't know why. If you already have really good corrosion resistance, I could see if you had very low corrosion resistance. But if you already have high corrosion resistance, do you sacrifice edge retention for corrosion resistance? I guess, it's all choice. And I'm not saying they do a bad job. I'm just saying that this is a poor argument, and this is the same fucking argument we've heard from literally everybody. And nobody's saying like that they know better or anything like that. I've taken his words, like, just listen to his words. Of course, it's not garbage, right? Because there's so many applications where it would be good at 61. But think about just that statement alone. It's not garbage. Think about saying that about anything. How are Red Wing boots? Well, they're not garbage. If you're saying it like that, you're saying, well, yeah, you don't want to throw it away, but you don't want to throw it away, but it's definitely not the best. That's basically what you're saying. And I'm not saying that about Red Wings. Red Wings are the best. Let's be fucking clear. But when it comes to MagnaCut and folding pocket knives, man, I think 62 is okay. I don't think it's bad. I think it's fine. It's at least close to 63. I think if they can hit 62, 63, I'm happy. Right now, I'm getting ready to do a knife, possibly with Best Tech in MagnaCut 62, 63. Tried to get them to do 63, 64. They said they can't promise anything. They said they can promise they will not go lower than 62, but it will be between 62 and 63, up to like 64, but they can't promise me that they'll hit that. So I'm negotiating with them. It's either S9EV at 62, MagnaCut 62 to 63, which I'm pretty okay with, or VanX, I think it's 61. So I'm probably going to choose the MagnaCut 62, 63, which I'm pretty happy with. That's okay, right? Of course, I'd rather 63, 64, but even for my testing, 62 still has really good edge retention. Of course, it goes up, but it'll be good, and it'll be good geometry too. So you're going to have a little bit of a win-win there. I'm sure I'm so backed up. Jim just gifted Neevesknives memberships, 5 of them suckers. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Tomorrow we have a members live. I know a lot of you guys are going to be hungover after St. Patty's Day. But we do have a members live, and you guys know we do members live giveaways every members live. So we are going to be doing a giveaway tomorrow. And I don't think we're going to do a sharpening. I think I want to do a knife talk or a sharpening talk. We might be over at the knife bench. I'm not sure, but I really wanted to talk about a few things with sharpening that might be easier for me to talk about and show you guys, but not sit there and just sharpen the whole time. So we'll see how it goes. If Lacey's able to come through, maybe we'll do a sharpening. Well, Ian, Tecto does say it on their site. If you go to their site, they say it. They do say that. I want that new Fenrir Hogue, the raw aluminum one. I forgot the name. Hogue doesn't get enough love, great prices and quality. I agree, man. I love Hogue. I think Hogue does a damn good job. They have, like you said, they have great prices. They do a good job with their MagnaCut. They weren't at first, but no company was doing it good at first. But they're doing a good job now. I ordered the Flytanium titanium scales and aluminum ball cage. Can't wait. Good for you, man. You're gonna love it. Yeah, I personally like having the titanium cage in the Manix because the plastic, while it has the same jimping and it is grippy, the metal is just a little bit grippier. It feels good in the hand. There's just, a difference in texture. You can kind of tell. Hello, Jared. Did you see Stroppy Stuff's new video regarding 6 micron compound worsening the best score he gets off the stone? Thoughts? Oh, yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on that. I did not see that. But if you are coming fresh off the stone and you are stropping and you are getting worse results, one thing, you can't trust the best sharpness tester. That's already a fact. You can't trust it. It's not at all accurate, not even a little bit. Even with the most skilled hands, it's just not accurate at all. You will, almost nobody can get it that accurate without cheating. And trust me, it is the most easiest thing to cheat. In fact, I noticed in order for me to get tight numbers, I have to halfway cheat to get tighter numbers. And if I do it to the best of my ability to not cheat, the numbers are like dramatically different. So that's all I'm saying. So, but if that's true, and this might be true because this actually does happen. So when you sharpen, one thing you guys got to worry about. So first off, you don't always need to strop after sharpening. Most of the time you should, but here's the thing. If this comes again with high HRC, good heat treated steel, burr formation comes up, and when you go to remove that burr, it snaps off clean, a lot cleaner. Maybe there might be a little bit of pieces here and there, but while you're doing your passes, doing your burr removal, you'll get rid of them. And in many cases, you'll get rid of the whole thing. Of course, that's not always. In many cases, you have to go to the strop. However, when you do strop, because you just came off of the stone, and this is the mistake that a lot of people make. They come off of the stone and then they strop. You don't need to do that. You just came off the stone. Your edge bevel was created from the stone. The bite was created from the stone. Your teeth, your micro serrations, all created from the stone. Your burr removal should have mostly been done on the stone, 90% of it. 10% of it is done by the strop, but think about that. To do that last little bit, what do you have to do for that? Very gentle passes, a couple passes per side. You don't have to do 10 passes per side, 20 passes per side, and go to another strop and come on. Literally just a couple very gentle, light passes, and then check it and run your nail up it. If it's nice and smooth and you don't feel any burr and you don't feel any micro chipping or anything like that from where the burr came off, and it feels nice and slick like glass, you're good to go. But yeah, anybody can overstrop. Another thing is you can easily round your apex that you just created by adding pressure, because when you put pressure on the strop goes like this around. Like, just picture this is my apex of my knife. The strop goes like this around the tip. So as it drags across, it's, you know, it's rolling the apex. That's why I say be very gentle. Let the abrasive do the work. Don't try to make your strength or your pressure do the work. Just let the abrasive do it, because it will. It absolutely will. And once you really start getting the feeling of burr formation and how to come up with a crispy burr and, you know, a good burr removal, I think that probably was two reasons why. Either one is the best sharpener, right? Best sharpness tester. Garbage. Number two, maybe the steel wasn't very good and the burr formation didn't come off very easily. So it left him having to do extra stropping. And with that extra stropping, it might, I don't know. I didn't see it. So I have to watch it. I'm just making assumptions right now. I ordered the flight team. Oh, I read that one. Let me scroll all the way down. I'm sorry. I'm so backed up. If anybody left a comment and they want to make sure I see it, just leave it again. Keith Barnes says, I started my EDC knife journey with the Kershaw leak. A lot of people did. I even got back into the journey. I mean, I was always in it since I was a kid, but I wound up jumping back in with Kershaw leak. I have bought more knives since then, but the leak is still a favorite of mine. What do you say? I think the leak is an amazing knife. I think it is one of the best knives you can gift. So to get somebody into knives, I think the Kershaw, I even gave one to my little brother. He still carries it because and he has tons of knives, and he got into knives big time after that. It's a knife that gets you into knives. It's USA made. It's super slicey. It's nice Warden Cliff, and it's lightweight. It's easy to carry. With higher wear resistance comes great responsibility. Exactly, James. Hey, Steve's in the house. Shout out to Super Steel Steve. He says, no reason to run MagnaCut under 63. If you want toughness and strength, increase the blade geometry. Facts. Max. Exactly. And the thing is that Max Ace already does that. Max Ace does that. I could grab a knife right now that's probably 35,000s behind the edge. Like I'm not saying like they are slightly thicker. They have fucking knives that like the blades would be well off on a fixed blade. Granted, they make locks that support that. So I'm not like saying that it's crazy because that's what they're going for. And I get it. I want crazy knives out there too, right? I love my super slice knives, but I of course want some obnoxiously thick, stupid knives that nobody will fucking carry. I of course want some of those too. But yeah, I still want, I don't want to pay for something and not get, the whole thing. You don't want to, it's kind of like buying a car, not getting the right motor in it. Lower HC does not increase corrosion resistance. I don't know if it does not. I heard with MagnaCut it does. I didn't say that statement. Somebody else said that statement when I asked for a rebuttal on why a company would run it softer. I was trying to figure out because I could only find pluses for raising it, right? I couldn't see any negatives for going up, but I found negatives for going down. And one person came at me and said one of the reasons why, or one negative, they weren't like defending it. They were just saying, and they could be wrong. I don't know. I didn't make this assumption. They said that supposedly that by running it really high, MagnaCut, that the corrosion resistance goes down. I don't know how far down, or if it's dramatic, or if it's just a tiny bit. I have no idea. But when he said that, I said, okay, I finally actually got somebody with an actual argument, because nobody ever said anything. Like I can't get any debate, anything that holds any sort of water. And that was the only thing. So I actually appreciated it, because if you're going to come up with something, at least, and something to defend, at least have some sort of an argument. Maybe he was wrong about it, but at least, if he thought it was true, it was still an argument. Whether we could debunk it or not, that's, up for debate. Steve, you must not like tactile, at least the rock wall. I think so the rock wall, yes, the rock wall was 6162, but they switched it to 6364 now. Tactile's doing all their new MagnaCut 6364, but their original rock walls, they already had a lot done. So they already had all the blades made. They didn't know about the heat treatment. I've talked to them. I went to their fucking facility, filmed their facility. They said moving forward, we're doing 6364, but the stuff we've already done is already done. So a lot of rock walls are at 6162. I don't think they're making the new ones at 6162, but as far as I know, 6364. And I've confirmed that a few times from them. And I did an edge retention test on their 6364, and it did phenomenal. It did really good. Now they had a nice thin geometry blade on that one, so that's definitely going to enhance it. I think it got near 800 feet of cardboard. I think is what it got in a 1-inch section. If they want toughness, then just run a tough steel like 3V and be done with it. There you go. No more debating. Yo, Luck Knives, what's up, brother? What are your thoughts on Spyderco doing their salt line and MagnaCut? I like it. I mean, I think that they should try to go with the higher wear resistance steels when possible, because if you can go like even like Vanax, right? If you're going to have a premium knife and you're going to try to, argue that you have the best, and I'm not saying they do that, but if you want to, come with the best, right? LC200N is a great steel. I love LC200N. I hate H1 though. I fucking hate that steel. I've sharpened it up a few times, and you know what it feels like to me? And I'm not talking shit about the Dalica, but the Dalica's metal, whatever it's made out of, it almost is like a plastic metal or something. I don't know, but that's kind of what it feels like to me when I sharpen it, and it just doesn't hold an edge. It doesn't deburr good. Like everything is just garbage with it. So I personally despise H1 steel, but LC200N I love. But MagnaCut's better than LC200N. Vanax is better. So, why not run it? If you can, because you already are. Spyderco, I know recently somebody in the community, they might be in here. We can talk about it if they want to. I'm not going to say their name without them saying it. I think they did make a post on it because they shared it with me and we talked about it. They got a Spyderco, an S90V that was hitting like 54 HRC. I think that's what it was, or something like that. Now, I don't think that that is a common thing. I think it's a fluke. I'm sure Spyderco, hopefully Spyderco will replace it. But it did come out like that. So it is what it is, you know, since they tested it, you know, and I think they tested it like 4 times too. So it came up low as hell. Um, I have heard that Spyderco doesn't do the best job with their S90V. I've personally never tested their S90V. At least, you know, not no real testing, you know, maybe sharpening, but not no real testing. So I can't really speak on it, but you know, I'm sure they're doing a decent job with it usually, but at least as far as that knife goes, they did not. So, but hey, no company's perfect. There's going to be lemons. They're going to slip through the cracks, you know, even from a company that does do as good as possible, you know, they're going to have some flukes. Hell yeah. Did you see that new one? Oh, wait, maybe you guys didn't. I don't know. Somebody shared a picture with me from American Blade Works. They have a new model coming out that looks dope. I will get on this live and explain if you want. I'm happy to have you on if you want to explain it. Hi guys, stupid question. Are kangaroo leather straps better than regular? So yes and no. So here's the thing. Kangaroo leather is the strongest leather. So what it does is it's really good for like boots, shoes, things like that that are going to need wear resistant. So they're thin but tough. So if you take a piece of kangaroo leather versus other leather and you stretch it out and you do a puncture test, theirs is a lot higher. Go watch Rose and Anvil, the that boot channel. He talks about it in there and he tests it. But for straps, right? For straps, we're not really looking for wear resistance, but I've gotten some and it was good. There was nothing wrong with it. It's thinner. That's one thing. It is thinner and it is a little denser. So I just don't see how that really helps too much. Maybe depending on the abrasive you're using. I personally like, as far as using stroppy stuff, which is the stuff I recommend, which will be back on the site in just a few days. So if you guys are wanting to get some stroppy stuff, we do have some still left, but we're gonna restock on every micron. I like the flesh side for that stuff because it spreads a lot easier and it's so easy to clean off. And again, you're wanting the abrasive. The abrasive, it's what's doing the work, not the leather. The leather is just a place to hold the abrasive. Yeah, the pores of the leather benefit you, right? But it's still the abrasive that's doing the work. But yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal because that's expensive. 2 bones from Steve. Lower HRC does not increase corrosion resistance. Well, thank you, Steve. Like I said, I don't know. You know, there's a statement somebody else made, but I believe you. I hadn't heard that before. I actually did. That was a thing. That's why I thought it could possibly have been true because I heard, and he could have been the same guy. I'm not sure. But I heard somebody else say that, or I read it in my comments or a comment. I don't remember. It might have been mine or somebody else's, but I read it or seen it. So I had read it one time and then I wound up getting it. Somebody messaged it to me and I was like, maybe, you know, I hadn't heard that, but you know, I don't always hear everything. So what's everyone's favorite knife they own or have owned? Oh, that's a tough one, man. You're going to have a lot of fighting in here. A lot of people fucking their tops just blowing off. Ah, man, it's tough. That is a tough one. That's really good to hear about the best system. Been considering it. Yeah, dude. I would say like it's not a bad thing to have for yourself, but you have to you can't trust anybody else using it. You really, really can't. And I say that even with the people that you trust doing, even me, you can't even trust me using it because while I might try to be as honest as possible, it's not perfect. Yes, you can use it for yourself, right? But you just don't want to watch it on a video and get any sort of information off. You don't want to say, oh, that knife got, or that steel or whatever, his edge, say his edge got this number. It probably didn't. It probably didn't. I'm just saying when you actually get one and you realize like how off the numbers are, yeah, it's all over the board. You can get it kind because like if you're the same person doing it over and over and you are as slow as possible and the string is nice and tight and everything goes perfect, you can get a decently accurate number. However, you can't compare it to anything else because everybody else is doing it at a different speed because the speed changes everything. Literally everything about that test is all dependent on your speed. You want to go as slow as possible. So anytime you see somebody going like this and they go like that, they're going too fast. They should literally, it should literally be like that. Like taking a lot longer than you would imagine to go through it. And if you see them jump when they go through it, you know, like when they pop it, then that means they were adding too much pressure. So they were going too fast. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because you're going, and I'm not saying you're going super fast, but you're going faster than you should. And so what happens is when that wire pops, it's hard to stop it. So you wind up doing that. But if you're going super duper duper slow, you'll crack it without making that jump. Do you mean the best tester is perfectly accurate? Just ask for his sharp. Exactly. That fucking guy. Oh man. I have a modded 20 CV already. I'm doing my DLCM4 lightweight MagnaCut. Like I said, waiting on the scales for those original goat scales beginning of April next week. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm waiting for the OGs myself. I need a one-hand class in person with Jared to get me feeling comfortable in sharpening my dies. I'm happy with that. Just join the membership. I do one-on-ones. I think Jared should do a video of his top 3 favorite knives. What's everyone? Yeah, I bet you do. You fuck. I bet you do. Neeves is about to make X be in here arguing steals with the rest of us. Is best system worth getting for tracking sharpness progression? To be honest, man, I don't want to lie to you, man. I don't think so. I think it's okay if you already have one. I don't think it's a bad thing to have. I use them sometimes in my videos in order just to make the video better. I try to tell you guys as much as possible not to fucking trust the thing. But if you don't want to spend the money on it, don't, because it's not going to give you any more information than you really already have. Like I said, you can get a little bit of information, like it might be give you a little details, but what'll be better for you is literally cutting paper towel. That will be the best indicator you can do. I have yet to have found a test that is better than a paper towel, because a paper towel, in order for your knife to cut cleanly through it, you have to have the perfect level of toothiness without being too toothy, otherwise it'll snag. So it has to have the fineness in order to split it, in order to go through it, the toothiness in order to bite the fibers, not too toothy, otherwise it'll hang up on the fibers. It's literally the perfect example. Like the best sharpness tester, I can do that test and get a great number, but my edge is absolute dog shit, because maybe there's burr left on my edge. Maybe there is microchipping. You know, there's so many things that could be wrong with that edge. Just because it gets a high level of sharpness means shit. Remember, the edge's sharpness is one thing, right? You want to look at many other variables, you know, like the quality of the edge, whether or not the scratch pattern reached the apex, you know, what direction are they running? Are they consistently running that direction? Is the burr nicely cleaned off? Does it feel like glass when you run your nail up the edge like this? Like just things like that. Like all those things are what leads to my computer just shit out on me. But those things are going to tell you a lot about the quality of the edge, you know, even more than just the sharpness. You know, it's kind of like, even like when you cut pieces of paper or like, you know, fine paper, you can see if it starts hanging up, you know, that tells you that you know, even though it might be super sharp, there's a problem. It's hanging up on the paper. Leak is my most carried. I like a crispy point and a hologram myself. Yeah, that's a great blade shape. my first Warncliffe was from Kershaw, and it was a hollow ground Warncliffe, and I got it when I was doing construction. And after I bought it, I lost it. I probably had it stolen twice, and I lost it twice, and I kept buying the exact same knife because I loved it so much. And then I wound up the fourth time losing it or getting it stolen or whatever on the job site, and I went to go buy a new one, and they discontinued it. I was so pissed. I wound up getting another knife that was somewhat similar from Kershaw, but it wasn't the same. Sharp Penguin says, what do you think about Cliff Stamp's method for sharpening? You know, I just think we're different. You know, I'm sure he has his methods and his ways, you know. There's different ways to skin a cat. I have nothing against him or his sharpening. I'm sure that guy's a wealth of knowledge. And I won't argue with him about any of it. I think there's just different ways to do it. I have found the best way for me is the way I do it through years of doing it. So it's not like I'm doing it based off of just a little bit of testing. I've been doing it for a very long time, and I'm confident in my ability to create an edge, to deburr, to do all of this stuff. So I honestly, not that I'm trying to do a competition or anything, but I would have no problem going up against, you know, him with just like that one guy. What the fuck is his name? That guy with that pull through sharpener, the sharpen spark thing. I forget his name. Not trying to talk shit about him, but he did that video saying that he would bet somebody $1,000 on whose edge would be better or something like that. And I couldn't help but think like he's trolling, because there's no way like that one he would win, right? No possible way. It's not possible. So just throw that out the window. But then he argued, but you have to do my tests. We can't do your tests. You have to do my tests, which if you listen to him, it was fucking chopping wire, or sorry, barbed wire and shit like that. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? Like, are we talking about snips? Are we talking about wire cutters? Are we talking about a knife? Working on the next run as we speak. I know some stainless blades, if you quench at an absolute top of the recommended range, it can result in reduced corrosion resistance. So Luck is saying it can. That's at the absolute top. Are they doing that though? I guess that would be the question, right? Because if they just, and I don't know, right? I'm just talking. If they can hit, say, 63, 64, right, without doing what you just said, then would it matter? Like, because remember, we're not debating 66 HRC for. Nobody's arguing for that. I have yet to have heard anybody say run that steel at 65. You know, there were companies that said they would run it at 64, 65, which is really cool. Fuck yeah. But then, you know, like Chris Reeve knives, I heard Tim Reeves say the juice wasn't worth the squeeze, you know. So they're doing a 63, 64. They were going to do 64, 65, but it just didn't make sense. So 63, 64, which is amazing. You know, I think that's great. And I don't think if you get a knife at 62, like, you know, I don't think it's garbage. I don't think it's bad. I just think, you know, there's things that could be a little bit better. You know, I want to do a side-by-side test of the exact same knife, exact same geometry, one at 61 and one at 63, and see what the edge retention difference is. I would love to do that test. But from the tests that I've done, which are not on the same knives, absolutely not the same knives, similar geometry though, similar geometry. One was 61, 62, one was 63, 64, and I got about 100-foot difference, or near. It wasn't quite 100. It was like 80, 90 feet difference in a 1-inch section of cutting. Remember, that is a lot of cutting. Like, that's not a little bit of cutting. That's a lot of fucking cutting in a 1-inch section. Imagine the whole blade. I'm not saying double it or triple it if it's a 3-inch blade. I'm just saying, you know, it's going to be a little bit more. So yeah, I don't know what it would be though if the knives were exact. Super Still Steve, I might ask you some knife making questions on Instagram if that's cool. Very curious about the process. Yeah, Steve's a good dude to talk to. I'm sure he would have no problem helping you out or talking to you about any of it. He's a wealth of knowledge. I recently won 2 Falk Neeven knives and got my first actual stones. What's a good knife to practice grinding convex grinds? I recently won 2 Falk Nevens and I got my first actual stones. What's a good knife to practice grinding convex grinds? I'm kind of confused by your question. You're asking me what knife has a convex grind that's good to practice on? Or are you asking me like the technique? I'm just confused. What's a good knife to practice grinding convex grinds? Anything with a convex grind, I would say go with a Mora knife or something that's cheap. A Mora knife would probably be the best way to go. They're using it depends on which knife you get, but they're using 14C in some cases, and then some other, stainless steels that are just tough, or some carbon steel. Sorry, some carbon steels, but they're they're low HRC, but they're still okay to sharpen and stuff. They'll take a good edge. The burr removal, the softer you get with steels, the shittier it is to remove a burr, no matter what. Like anytime I've ever had a problem with deburring, the knife also has low edge retention, and also always leads to a lot of other little things too, like when you go to remove the burr, micro tear out and just things like that. Like there's just always little bullshit with the softer you get. What are your opinions on shell cardigan leather straps? I don't know, man. I don't know about that. I know there's obviously all different types of leather, right? There's great quality leather for stropping and some not so much. But you don't have to go crazy. Like, granted, I love the straps that I have and they are super high quality. I love them. But I also have some really cheap straps that work just fine. I think it's the abrasive that's important. Get the right side, right? So there's the suede side and the flesh side, right? The flesh side would be like the flat, like it's like skin, and the other side's like a suede coat or whatever. I personally think if you're going to use a diamond emulsion, I say to use the flesh side because it's easy to spread, right? It's easy to spread, and it's also very easy to clean off and reapply later after you've reapplied it a bunch of times when you have steel particles all on top. The suede side is much more difficult to clean. One, two, it doesn't spread as easily. Now, if you're using chromium oxide with your straps, then yeah, use the suede side. I think that would be better. But it's the abrasive that I think is the most important. Personally, I recommend Gunny Juice or Stroppy stuff. Stroppy stuff is my favorite right now, but Gunny Juice is really good too. Can we talk about how the new Benchmade Full Immunity is $600? You can literally get a Spyderco PM2 Shaman and Mannix for that price tag. Benchmade had just been crazy stupid with their prices. Yeah, man, it's hard to. I don't know how anybody can defend that. What's going to be funny is you're going to see in a couple months, Knife Center is going to tell you it's the knife of the year. They did that with the Narrows or whatever. I thought it was so funny because to me, it just looked like a money grab. And everybody in the comments were not fooled. Nobody was fooled by it. Everybody fucking said it. Like, you guys are really trying to sell this thing, ain't you? Knife of the year, huh? Oh, man. Mine is my mini FSD. I haven't bought a knife since getting her in January 2024. She's my main carry, and I haven't had to argue to buy another knife. Great knife, badass knife. I know some people had some issues with detent lash and lock rock and things like that, but great knife. Hey, Hughes, thank you for the 5 bones. Just won 2 Falk Nevens from DBK and got some stones. What's some cheap convex knives? So, like I said, Mora knives, I think, is what you want to go with. Go with Mora knives. Mora knives. You can get them on Blade HQ, linked down in the description. So go to Blade HQ, link down in the description, and just type in Mora, and you will find them. They're very affordable. They're tough as nails too. Like, it's crazy how tough those little Mora knives are. Like, for like 10, 15 bucks, those fucking things are like indestructible. I've seen them outbeat like much more expensive knives, which is humiliating for the expensive knife. Low Country Hillbilly just became a member. Shout out to you, man. I will see you tomorrow for the members live, which we will also be doing a giveaway. I am skipping forward, guys. I see I'm very backed up. Mike gave a Neevesknives membership. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you for the support. I greatly appreciate it. Okay, so I'm just going to catch all the way up. So if you left a comment and you want me to see it, just rewrite it again. I apologize. It's just it's hard for me to keep up unless if I do that, and I'll be backed up 20 minutes on the conversation. I'm looking to get some new stones and get into higher grits for my work sharp professional. What do you recommend for new stone holder? So get the new stone holder for my HAPSTONE link. That's first of all. They might have sold out again. I'm not sure, but they should be there. So get the go to my HAPSTONE link and buy the 6-inch stone holder for that system. And then I recommend, depends on how much money you want to spend, Mark. So I'm going to give you a couple different examples. One, get in the same link, HAPSTONE link, go to their diamond 6-inch stones and get the HAPSTONE starts. That's what they're called. START starts. So it's just, I don't know why they're called starts, but they're just a bunch of different grits in diamonds, but they are really good. They're CBN. So CBN supposedly has more wear resistance than even diamonds. Supposedly, I know they're the same thing. They're just diamonds, but for whatever reason, they're able to get it more consistent. So I actually, oh shit, Mark, hold off for a second, man. I'm going to show you guys something. Give me 1 second. I got a new company that contacted me. They sent me these stones, and I'm thinking these are going to be fucking gold standard. These look really good, guys. Like really, really good. So I have a resin bonded. All of these fuckers are, they go all the way up to 15,000 grit. And then we have metal bonded. They say the metal bonded does have better wear resistance than the resin, so these last longer. And they said that their CBN lasts longer because of, they explained why. I have to read it. They gave me a paper, but they explained why. There was a reason why it lasted longer, and it made sense when I read it. But anyways, you can see this is the 80 or the 200/160 micron. You can see them diamonds. Look at that. These fuckers are packed with diamonds. Like, these seem even more than Neve. But we'll see. I'm gonna test them out. They look really, really good. And then here's the metal bonded. So that was the a coarse one from that one. So here's the metal bonded coarse. This one is 160 grit. And again, I kind of got something on there. Don't worry about that spit. Just look at the diamonds. Let's see if you guys can see it. So this one's CBN. You can, there it goes. Come on. You can see the diamonds in there. So this is a metal bonded. So it's like copper and zinc, I think is what they use. And so they take copper and zinc and they mix the metal with CBN inside of it. Oh shit, that wasn't the coarsest one. This is the coarsest one right here. Sorry. Damn. Yeah, see, the other metal bonded stones I have are not like this. I don't like the other ones. These actually have aggression to them. So here, look at these. Look at, watch all these diamonds. Look at that. Woo! This one is 80 grit. So, and then obviously the fine one, you're not going to really be able to see the diamonds. It just kind of looks like a metal plate. These are the super fine ones. Maybe a little bit. But anyways, these are, I'm testing out. So these are, if they're as good as they seem, if, this is just an if, then I'm going to be recommending these very soon. But right now, I would recommend getting the HAPSTONE starts if you want diamond plates, just regular diamond plates. Otherwise, go with the Centaurion Veneve resin bonded stones from the HAPSTONE link. You can get them from the HAPSTONE link. Or you can wait for me to review these, which will be very soon. I'm testing them now. So other than that, Atoma, you can get 1x6-inch stones from 140 grit up to, you know, I think they go up to like 1,000 or 1,200 grit. So, but I think if you're really, really smart, or sorry, if not smart, I hate to say it like that. That sounds like a dickhead. If you have the money and you want to get the best and you don't want to have to buy more in the future and you want to be able to just do a one and done, one fucking buy and done, get double-sided Veneves, the Centaurion Veneves. I would say get these, but I don't know yet because I have not tested them. So the double-sided Veneves, you'll get 3 stones, 3 double-sided stones. That'll be 6 stones altogether. The only thing you'll need on top of that is maybe 1 diamond plate, like a HAPSTONE Start 100. So 100 grit HAPSTONE CBN Start. You can find it on the site. I have some Poltova stones, and they are amazing. I don't know what those are. These are expensive stones, guys. So these are not for people that are, you know, they have 2-3 knives. These are for guys who are really into fucking knives. Like, these are the stones if you want the best of the best edges. So no bullshit edges. If you're looking for the highest quality edges, that's when you get into resin bonded diamonds, metallic bonded diamonds, because you're just able to get the finer edges that, like, say a diamond plate. I've seen diamond plates go up to like 2,000 grit, but they never work. Or no, they work, but they never work long. Like, literally, like, everyone I've seen wears out like immediately, because the diamonds are so fine on a surface that they just wear off. They're so little. So if you want to be able to go to an ultra fine edge while having the bite from a diamond stone, Veneves, or resin bonded, I should say, resin bonded or metallic bonded stones are the way to go, because you're getting the diamonds and you can get it very fine and it's not going to just wear off. These stones will damn near last you forever. Like, that's why I say, when I say one and done, that's the reason why I say that. If this was just a regular diamond plate, maybe it'll last you a couple years, but these will last you, 10 years plus, if not longer. Just depends on how much sharpening you're doing. I hand sharpen mostly with a full set of the Sharple stones. Is the Spyderco Ultra Fine Bench Stone Sharpening Stone 3x8 ceramic stone worth adding? I like it. However, I've used it before, so it depends on how you want to use it. So if you get this, I'll say it, if you get a Veneve F800 or F1200 or both, double-sided, or even one of these, right? One of the finer grits, which we'll talk about those in like a week. You don't need to get the ceramic. And I say that because of the Veneve 800 is like 3,500 grit, and the Veneve 1200 is like 5,000 grit. It is very hard, very dense, and it does everything the ceramic can do, but better. However, the ceramic, in my opinion, is really good for 2 things. One, if you don't have the Veneves and you want an ultra fine edge and you're coming off of like 1,200 grit, 1,500 grit diamond plate, and you want to go to another stone to polish, don't come off of 600 grit because it won't work. You got to come off of like 12 to 1,500 grit, then go to an ultra fine ceramic, and you can polish the edge and it'll come out nasty sharp. Now, personally, my favorite way to use ceramics is for burr removal. I think it is the best thing next to Veneves. Veneves, I think this is the best, or I don't want to say just Veneves, resin bonded, right? I think resin bonded is the best, but ceramic is second best and very close to it for burr removal. So, and then another thing that what I think ceramic is like the best for is for honing, micro beveling, things like that. So it just depends on the arsenal you want. Do you have to add it? Not if you have a Veneve. If you have a Veneve 800/1200, then no, you do not have to add it. If you don't have that and you have diamond plates and you want something, you know, very hard for those types of that type of shit, then yeah, get it. Good to know, because I have all the way up to 3,000 grit diamond. Okay, so then a ceramic, a Spyderco ceramic ultra fine would work great for you, because it's basically like between 3,500 and 5,000 grit. So that's basically what it is. It'll mirror polish your edge. So, but only if you come off of an ultra fine diamond. Like, it won't work from a medium. It's just not aggressive enough to take the scratches out without spending a very long time on it. And that always sucks. You want to spend as little time as possible on the stone. I'm not saying that, you know, you're trying to be fast. I'm just saying, you know, it's nice when it goes nice and smooth. So one thing I can say, Mike, though, if you have that already, bro, if you get that Veneve 800/1200, you're set, bro. You're set. Because right there, that will bring you straight to a mirror polish. And that stone, in my opinion, is very valuable. I think the core stones are the most valuable because they do the cutting, they create the bevels, they, you know, all that stuff. But an ultra fine, whether it's diamond, resin bonded diamond or ceramic, is valuable in a different way. Like I said, burr removal, right? If I'm coming off of a 600 grit diamond edge, I still want to remove my burr on my ultra fine resin bonded stone or a ceramic. I still want to do that. When I get a fresh edge from the factory, when I hone my edge, it's on either one of those two. When I want a micro bevel, when I need to do edge maintenance, all these things are done on the ultrafine. Is a best edge tester worth getting for tracking skill progression? No, it's not, because it's not accurate. I know you probably weren't in here. Somebody else asked it earlier. It's just, it's so inaccurate. That's the problem. It's not able to give you consistent results. And you can't compare it to anybody else's. Don't trust anybody using that system. Even me. Don't trust me, because it's not accurate. So when you see me using it in videos, take it with a grain of salt. You know, it just is what it is. If you are very good at being very slow, you can get somewhat accurate numbers, but you can never trust anybody you see on camera using it, because most people have an ego. Most people, if they go to test their edge, just for an example, right? Most people, when they go to test their edge, say if their edge was like a 180, let's just say a 180. Well, fucking Ray the Sharpener got a 56, right? Ray the Sharpener got a 56. So I can't let the people see that mine's a 180. That makes my edges look dull as shit compared to his, even though a 180 would be like a double-edged razor or some shit, right? It's still very sharp. But Ray the Sharpener is getting fucking 56. So, you know, there's a little bit of ego there. That's why, you know, to me, I don't really care about it. I just try to tell you guys, just don't trust it. Don't trust me. Don't trust anybody who uses it. Just don't trust it, you know. I'm so glad Best isn't accurate for selfish reasons. I don't want to buy. Somebody said they were going to develop, which they might be in here, which I think would be awesome if they did. They were talking about developing a way to make sure it was controlled, like, I don't know, a robotic arm or something that could slowly drop it down at the same rate, the same speed, at the same level of power and everything across the board. If you could do that, it might be accurate. But even with the most skilled hands, with the best intentions, with everything, it's tough. Still accurate enough for information. It's still information. It is, but you just don't trust it against anybody else's, right? With your own information, right? If you want it for yourself, that's fine. But don't watch somebody else's and compare it. You might as well bet that they're cheating. That's all you got to do. Like, and it's not even intentionally. I'm not saying they're nefariously doing anything. I'm saying that the rate of speed, it's so important with that machine. The smallest bit of change in speed is everything. Like, I can literally get a 12 with that thing right now, like literally a 12 on an edge that's a 300. Easy. Like, easy. Go watch my video on why you shouldn't trust it. I did a full video on it. All inconsistent pressure, wanting one for a sharpening business. I mean, I would say, get it if you want it, man. I'm not trying to tell you not to get it. I'm just saying that it's not something that if you're watching them on camera, I'm just saying don't trust that. If you want to get one and you want to be as honest as possible and try to do it as slow as possible, be as consistent as possible, go for it. You might be able to do good results because you might be very good at controlling your speed. But you're going to know as soon as you get it. Once you get it, you're going to realize everything I'm talking about. You're going to see the difference. But yeah, if you can be within 20 numbers of each other, yeah, that's obviously very accurate. A lot of times it's not. Unless the only times I have seen it be that tight is because you're going too fast. Because when you're going very slow, like they're usually, I don't know, it just depends, but Jared, Max Ace Peregrine 2 versus Migron's KUNWU. Which should I buy? The KUNWU. KUNWU. Yeah, and the reason why, that Max Ace Peregrine 2, man. Oh, wait, let me just double check the Peregrine 2. I think I was actually thinking of the other one. Is that the one I just had on the channel? Yes, it is. Okay, so the reason why I'm saying against it, this is a washer knife. The Peregrine 2 is a washer knife, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a washer knife, but it's a washer knife with a front flipper. The front flipper sucks. I'm just being honest, man. When you get it, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like the front flipper. There's a couple other things that suck on it. The clip, they're always doing shitty. They're putting the lock bar cutout on the outside and landing the clip right on it. Yeah, I would go with the Migron. Now the Migron, they have that issue too with the clip, but with this knife, I don't know. I have it, but I don't remember, because some of them are good, some of them are bad. Jesus is king. Yes, he is. Seems for a personal use, it's worth it. Gonna get one. Yeah, get one then. If you're just doing it for personal use, yeah. Like I said, I just don't. I'm specifically talking about when you watch somebody else use it, just don't trust them. If you're going to use it for yourself, that's different. Jesus, that's fine. I like poking holes in people's logic. I hope they catch these fuckers. It will be somebody that was in the store with them too. Oh, you're talking about, yeah. So I was wanting to know, what we're talking about is there was a knife dealer that got they had a smash and grab. I was in Illinois, so I already made that statement. I left a message saying I was in Illinois that night. But somebody did a smash and grab, smashed through the front door, stole the shit. Supposedly the power was out. Now my question was, one, was the power cut or was the power off? Meaning, like, did the company shut the power off? Was there a power outage? Was there a lightning strike? Was there a storm that night? Or did the people cut the power? If the people cut the power, they they obviously know what they're doing. That's one thing. And two, with the smash and grab that they did through the door, the problem I had with it is that door, I mean, a smash and grab depends, because like if there's a storm going on, the smashing through the window would have been the way to go, right? Because it just blends in with the sound outside. But if there's not a storm going on, right, and they did cut the power, then it just, unless if there's nothing nearby, they should have went at the door, not the glass. I'm not saying the glass sometimes isn't the best case, because it absolutely is in many cases. It's very easy, but then you got to crawl through it, or you got to unlock the door like this with your arm and get cut right here trying to do it. Hopefully you're wearing long sleeves. You should be, well trained for all that shit if you're doing it. But my point is just that you can tell a lot by how they did the job, what type of people they are, who are they, and the reasons why. even like down to how much they stole, how much time they were in there, all those things. Like, you know, because cutting the power, if they cut the power, you know, that leads you to believe that they obviously either one, know electrical work very well, or two, are pros. The fact that they smashed the front door with the glass leads me to believe that they're not so pro. But if there was a storm that night, it kind of makes sense. Let me get these. James K with the 2 bones. Chris Jones has a question about KIZER's backspacer. Chris Jones would have a question about KIZER's backspacer. Jesus is king. 2 bones says, thank you for the info as always, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you. What does Chris Jones have a question about backspacers about? He loves KIZER's backspacers. You have someone to vouch for your location, Jared? Yes, I do. I absolutely do. I actually got proof. I got proof. And out of everything they stole, Medfords. He said, Medfords are valuable, man. Medfords are valuable. I don't know exactly all what they stole. I'm kind of curious everything they stole, because they'll tell you a lot of things, man, by what they stole, how much time they were in there. There was no cameras going because the power was out. So, which they obviously didn't have a backup generator. Yeah, I just have too many questions before I'd want to give my honest opinion. But if I had a lot of answers, I could tell you a lot about that fucking job. Smashed the window. They probably had about 20 minutes for the. Well, that's the thing. If the power was out and there was no alarm, then no, it doesn't. It depends on whether or not the alarm was on a separate thing. If it's on a separate thing, then the alarm is going to go off. If it's not on a separate thing, then it's not going to go off because the power. So it just depends. Like, these are all the questions I have to ask. So did the people have enough knowledge, enough inside information to know that if they cut the power, the alarm wouldn't go off? Now, yeah, you have about, it depends on where, it depends on the location, depends on a lot of factors, but usually you have about 10, 15 minutes before a police response. It's usually how it goes with alarms at the minimum, right? Obviously, it can go much longer than that. One time I watched one that was directly across the street with an armed robbery, and it fucking took them 20 minutes. The police station was across the street. Took them 20 minutes to get across the street. But anyways, yeah, it's usually 15 minutes is about average time. Now, it does vary, depends on the town, how many officers are around and things like that, because they have to dispatch it and then they have to dispatch again. But yeah, they lived next door to the shop. The people that own the shop live next door. The people that own the shop live next door to it. Is that what you're saying? This guy might have been a bit tarded. Lived practically at the store. So they caught the person? Is that what you guys are saying? I haven't seen anything since I seen the place post and people post the door. I've been busy. So what do you think is the best way to test your edge? Paper towels. Paper towels is the #1 way to test your edge for everything. For if you want to know if your edge is high quality, it will not be able to cut cleanly through paper towel unless if it's good quality. So the best quality edges are going to be able, with the highest level of sharpness, that's the best everything, is going to cleanly cut through paper towel. If the burr removal wasn't good, then it won't be able to. If there's not enough bite, it won't be able to. If the edge is too slick, it won't be able to. If there's too much toothiness, it won't be able to. So it has that perfect balance, the paper towel test. That's why I show it in my videos. That's the exact reason why. It took me a long time to be able to cut cleanly through paper towels like that. Is the Neve 80/150 stone? Wait, the stone I'm using to reprofile on my knives. Is there another first stone that might be better? No, you have that's the coarsest one from the Neve. What you should get is a HAPSTONE. Are you using a fixed angled system or freehand? I'll just give you both. If you're using fixed angled system, go to HAPSTONE. The link's down in the description, and get HAPSTONE 6-inch. Well, depending on what system you have. get a the HAPSTONE starts. That's what I'm trying to say. Get HAPSTONE starts. Get the 100. HAPSTONE Start 100 is a phenomenal reprofiling stone. Otherwise, get the Atoma 140. You can get those on my Amazon store. The Neeves, not NEEVEKNIVECO, the Neeves Knives store with sharpening supplies. Go to there. You can go right up to the search bar and just search Atoma, ATOMA, and just put 1x6. If that's what you're using is 1x6. If you're using 1x4, put 1x4. But they'll pop up. Get the Atoma 140 or the HAPSTONE 100 with your Veneves, and you're set. Because that will be your reprofiling stone, and the Veneves will be everything to carry you the rest of the way. Yes, you can reprofile on Veneves. There's no problem with reprofiling on Veneves, but they're not going to go as fast as, say, an extra coarse diamond plate. It's just the way it is, unless if your geometry is super thin. Like if you have geometry, you know, like this, then yeah, you can. You don't even need to use the HAPSTONEs. But if you get anything, you know, 20 thousandths behind the edge, you want to start off with something really, really coarse. What steel would you recommend for Cardboard Warrior? Gonna be moving, so I'll have a ton of boxes to break down eventually. I personally like either one K390, which I highly recommend. You can get the Spyderco Stretch in K390. They have a couple other models as well. I also really, really like Rex 45. I think Rex 45 is a phenomenal fucking steel for cardboard destroying. And if you keep up, like while you're cutting, like every, like, I don't know, every so often, just pop it on the strop a couple times, that fucking edge will keep going. Like I have my Manix right now. I couldn't tell you how many fucking boxes I've broken down with it, but I keep maintaining it, and it just keeps coming back and keeps coming back and keeps coming back. So I think that's a good one, because that's the point. It's not just about the overall edge retention. It's also about how well does it come back, right? How well can you keep it going? And if you put a low angle edge on it, it will increase the performance massively. So with any steel, now there's going to be a tipping point, but like I always say, 15 to 17 degrees per side is usually a good low angle edge. If you're going 15, it's not going to be a tough edge, but it's a very slicey edge that will have great edge retention and be easy to strop and easy to home back. It's not going to be for impact, unless if it's a, you know, like super thick or something. The thief was only charged with a probation violation. So far, still has a pew-pew that he stole, returning 2 nights in a row before being caught. He returned 2 nights in a row before being caught? So he stole a gun from the place, stole some knives, and he returned to steal more. So he came in, stole it, noticed nobody's seen it, and then came back? Was the store shut down for like 3 days or something? Why was the power out? This whole thing has just gotten more and more confusing. Obviously, if the guy's next door, he's a dope fiend. I hate to say it. If he's robbing people next door to him, he's a dope fiend. It's not a professional job if you're doing anything in, you know, it's just a fact. It's just a fact. You're not going to do, even if there's the chances of you damn near getting rich, you're not going to shit where you sleep, because the first place anybody who knows, and that's a pro, knows the first place they're going to look is the surrounding. Everybody who's around, who can see it, who's involved, who's inside, like all that shit. So, you know, that's why, like, if you do certain jobs, let's just say smash and grab jobs, breaking and entering, robbery, whatever, you want to go to places where you're unknown. You're absolutely not known. They don't know your face. They don't know the vehicle. It doesn't have to be like super far away, but far enough to where you're not a normal there, right? That will leave a lot more mystery, because most places, like when I used to do some, I know this is fucking sick, but I used to go after places with dogs, because they always, and I got inside information multiple times after hitting places with dogs, that the officers would tell the people that it has to be an inside job. It has to be somebody who knows you, because nobody would have came in with this dog unless if they knew the dog. So I wouldn't know the people for nothing, right? And yeah, it's a shitty thing. You know, I was a piece of shit doing shitty stuff, and admittedly, I'm not making any excuses. I'm just telling you guys what happened. But yeah, I would go in and fucking with the big mean ass dogs, because I was a dog trainer, so I was good with dogs, and I'd walk in, do my business, feed the dog, give him a couple treats. Sometimes they wouldn't take them, sometimes they would. I told a story about this Great Dane. This fucker was so big, man. So fucking big. This thing was unbelievable. And he was following me, and he knew I wasn't supposed to be in there. So he was like growling like a motherfucker. But I did the body language that you're supposed to do to an aggressive dog. So he didn't know how to take it. Since I did the body language that tells him he's not allowed to bite me, he knew he couldn't bite me, but he was confused. Like, I don't know you, but you're giving me the body language of a badass. Like, you're giving me the body language of a person that knows who I am. So it confused him. So what he did was he followed me around, and I got sick of him following me around and like growling at me every time I touched something. So I fucking pulled out some fucking treats for him and locked him in a room. He was fine. I love dogs. I would never hurt a dog. Chris Jones with the 5 bones. I heard the robber tied up the doors with gaming cords and was wearing a black mask, a neck knife, and a white weasel hat. Just what I heard. I can't think of anybody that would be. Can't think of anybody that would be. Not even a little bit. I have a Great Dane. He's the goodest boy horse. I love Great Danes. I fucking love Great Danes. My favorite's probably Bull Mastiffs. I love Mastiffs, period. Any type. Connie Corsos, Bourboils, English Mastiffs, Bull Mastiffs. I love them all. All of them. But technically, a Great Dane is a type of Mastiff. Thank you so much, Jared. I've learned so much from your channel. Been watching you for over 3 years. Thank you, Carlos, man. I appreciate that. I love the kind words. What's better, resin bonded or metallic bonded? Okay, so here's the thing. I have a set of metal bonded, and I like my resin bonded more than them. However, I have a new set of metal bonded, which are different than the other ones I had. They told me sending this, they were trying to convince me to take just the metal. I said, I want both. I don't want just the metal. I want the resin too. Well, they said the metal ones are better than the resin. This is just what they said. I'm not saying this is true, so do not take this as true. They said that the metal ones lasted longer and were better than the resin bonded. Now, my biggest worry was, like my other ones, they don't cut fast. These ones look like they're going to cut fast. Or sorry, these ones look like they're going to cut fast. I'm going to test these out, but usually I would say resin bonded is better, but supposedly with these and maybe even with other ones, metallic bonded lasts longer and is better, but we'll see. Either way, regardless which one you get, they're going to be fucking great. They're going to last you a very long time. I guess with the metal bonded, you don't need any lubricant. That's another thing. That's what they said. You just need to wipe them down. With the resin bonded, you want to use soapy water. Abner's been a member for 3 months. What angle should I sharpen the Chavez 229 kickstop? Okay, so here's the thing. The front. Oh no. So the front nose of that thing. Wait, do you have, which one do you have? You have the Tonto? Let me just pull it up really quick so I can show you what I'm talking about. I don't want to walk over and grab it. Okay, so doesn't matter which one you have, but if you have the Tonto or the drop point, I just want to show you something. Okay, so if you can see my mouse up here, this nose area right here. You guys see that? Yeah, you guys can see that. Right here, this nose area, the thicker point. This is dramatically thicker than right here. So this edge right here, when you're sharpening, is going to be a small bevel. When you get to here, it's going to go like literally like this. Like, it doesn't look like it here because they do a super high angle. This is probably a 30-degree edge angle. So if you go 20 degrees, it's going to be a big bevel up here in the nose. So what I would say, to be honest, man, it just depends on what you prefer. If you don't mind a very big edge bevel and spending a long time on the sharpening, then I would go 22 degrees per side, maybe 23. Now, if you want to go crazy and you want the sliciest as you can get, and you don't mind spending hours sharpening, then you can go 17 to 20. But I would say that that is going to lead to a very, very, very big edge bevel up in the nose. So just, you know, just remember that. It's thick up in the front, very thick. So anytime you have a dual grind, the front end is going to be, well, if it's a dual grind where it's a hollow with a flat in the front. Do I have one sitting here to show you guys? I do not. Wait, no. Anyways, it's going to be, there's going to be a difference. So you don't want to change angles. So you want to keep the same angle from the heel to the tip, but just know that the thicker part's going to be bigger. So, you know, you might want to think about that when doing it. But I would say go 22, 23 degrees per side. Go with that. Maybe even 25 degrees per side, and then see how it looks. John Blackman's a new member. Shout out to John. I will see you tomorrow at the Members Live Sharpening or the Members Live at, you missed some super chest starting with Low Country Hillbilly super chest. Did I? I'm sorry. Mike Lewis with the 2 bones. Thank you, brother. Charlie Hill with the 2 bones. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Guys, holy shit. I missed all these. It must have jumped. Sorry. Low Country Hillbilly with the 5 bones. Got a St. Nick's 4V Spyderco. Goddard, Work Tough Nomad. But the surprise knife this week and best crossbar action is the Real Steel Sacra. Yeah, they did a good job on that. I actually have some new Real Steels right here. We're going to be checking out tomorrow. They're pretty dope. Pretty damn dope. Thank you for the 5 bones, man. I appreciate it. And thank you, Todd, for reminding me or letting me know, man. You always save my ass on those damn on the damn jumps. Mark Parks been a member for 7 months. As the Hapstone starts 100 better than the Atomo 140. Yes, it is. It is. So the Atomo 140 is more aggressive for about 10 minutes. From my experience, the Hapstone lasts longer. So the Atomo 140 is phenomenal. It's a great stone, but it's not that it wears out fast, but it wears out faster than the Hapstone. So the Hapstone and it are both very aggressive. One's a 100, one's a 140. Both are very aggressive. The big difference is one CBN, which the CBNs don't break down as fast as the diamonds. And with the Atomas, it's clusters of diamonds, which are great. Don't get me wrong. I fucking love Atomas. So I love Atomas. Their cluster diamonds are great, and they cut so fast. But the Hapstone starts are CBN. They last longer, and they cut very fast too. So I would say the Hapstones. Now, if you're going with fixed angled, or sorry, if you're going freehand, then you have to go with Atoma because Hapstone doesn't make 3x8s in that stone. Thank you. You saved me a lot of and waste of time, and definitely don't want too big of a bevel on this one. Yeah, and you will if you go. I'll say like mine. If you go watch my video, go watch my Chavez video, and you know what? Let me see if I can just pull it up. Well, just go watch it. It was like 2 weeks ago. Look for the sharpening. It's in the thumbnail. You'll see that it's in the thumbnail. Look how big that bevel is. Now that's the chisel grind, so it is a little bit different, but they're still, both of them are still thick, so it doesn't really matter. And listen to what I say about what angle I'm sharpening at, and you'll see. But hey, maybe you want that. I wanted that. That's what I wanted. I planned for it. How did you learn dog training? I went to school for it. So I've always been an animal lover. When I was a kid, I got into reptiles big time, and I had tons of reptiles. Like I used to buy, sell, and trade reptiles, and I would buy like large monitors, and I would basically get them to be friendly. I guess you could say they're never friendly, but you know what I mean. More gentle. And then I would wind up selling them for a profit. And I did this over and over, and I had tons of them. I had tons of different reptiles and shit. So that was just one thing I went into. And then, as I got older, I, got into a bunch of other animals. I had a pet raccoon. I've had stingrays. I've had tons of different animals. I just love animals. So now I don't have anything, but I wound up getting into dogs, and I got this dog, and I studied dog training on my own, and I was really good at it. I wound up training multiple dogs, and then I wound up going to school just an online thing, but they sent you all these things where you could learn. And I got books on how dogs see things versus how we like, so much information. And I just learned everything about body language when communicating with dogs, and basically how to whisper, dog whispering. That's basically what I went to school for. So I learned dog whispering, and then I ran a dog training business for a few years. And then and I still train dogs every now and then if somebody needs help. Like, I have a lot of family members and people that know me. They call me up and they ask me to help them. Sometimes people in the neighborhood I might help, but I'm not running it as a service like I used to. I did last dog I did one like last year. I was helping these 2 dogs out down the street. What the fuck just happened? Was that the same one? 5 Bones just ordered the Kamano Purple Haze from Sharif. Can't wait. S35, 60 to 63. That's some good HRC for S35. Charlie Hill just became a member. Shout out to Charlie. Thank you for the support. I do want to talk about a beard oil today. I know we're way past fragrance of the day, but check this out. This is USA made stuff. It is expensive. So remember I said if you guys were here earlier, I went out around Kenosha earlier with my sisters, right? Went into the store, and I seen they had a bunch of different stuff like this. So I'm going to pull up the screen really quick. I do have it linked down in the description. Where's it at? Do I not have it up here? Yeah, it's right here. Hold on, so let me start closing out all these, and then we'll be able to find it. So I do have it linked down in the description, this exact stuff, but here's the products. Okay, so it's called 1821 Man-Made. Okay, they have an actual site. I have the Amazon link to this down in the description. It's the same price you're going to pay right here, so you're not paying more. Actually, I think you might be paying a couple dollars less, because I paid, this is expensive, but what it is, and they have a ton of stuff, as you can see. I don't have this store linked down in the description, but what I do have linked is this exact stuff, which you can find. Let me see if I can find it. Shop all. This is a beard oil right here. Where is it? I seen it earlier on the site, so let me see if I can just go like this. Fine retail, shop by some sweet tobacco. That's what this is. Sweet tobacco. Where the fuck is their sweet tobacco now? I can't find it. There it is. Okay, so this is this stuff right here. And I'll tell you what, man, if you guys been following me for a minute, I had another beard oil like last year that I got from Beard Brand, and they did a limited time with this other guy who's like a beard guy. They did a limited supply of this one that was, in my opinion, was such an amazing scent. And I haven't found anything that smelled like it until this. This smells very similar to that. Now, anybody who knows Mancera Red Tobacco, if you know that fragrance, it's very similar to that without the spicy. So literally take out the spiciness out of that, and you basically have this. And it smells fucking great. It's a sweet tobacco. This one doesn't have any spice in it, but it's just an amazing fragrance. I can't express that enough. Problem is look at how expensive it is. It is expensive. But if you have a beard and you want to smell good, I got fragrances that match this. Like I said, I got the Red Tobacco Mancera. So I'll throw a squirt of that on, take this, maybe rub it around in my hair a little bit, and makes you smell absolutely amazing. I freaking love it. It's USA made. And let's see. I should try to get a hold of these guys. It's expensive, but it's USA made. I want to support, supporting a local store and obviously a company. So, there you go. Right there. Chris, hey, dude, try this shit, man. If you like tobacco fragrances, tobacco things, which that doesn't mean you like smoke. Let's just be clear. Like, tobacco doesn't smell like you smoking a cigarette. It's the note from the leaves, from the tobacco leaf. So if you like that mixed in with fragrances and stuff like that, I love it. So I love the smell of tobacco with mixture, right? It's not just tobacco. It's a mixture with other notes and things like that. But something about it just is a very masculine, pleasing scent to me. And this is definitely that. It's on the sweeter side, sweet tobacco, literally what the name says. Try it out. Anybody who wants to try it. Like I said, the beard brand guy had one, but they discontinued it. They shit the bed. That was the best thing they ever made. Okay, so the fragrance I was wearing today when I was out hopping, is the L'Homme Ideal Platine Privé from Guerlain. And I have recommended this stuff a few times. Let's see if we can pull it up. There we go. This shit is fire. It is a very lemony sweetness. It's very citrusy. That's basically what it is. It's super lemony, super citrusy, but it has like this depth to it, like a little bit of musk with it, that it's super fresh. Like it's like almost like a fresh out of the shower gel, throwing in a lemon. Trying to think of the other notes that are in there. There's something sweet in it. Let me just look it up. Come on, pull it up. There we go. Damn it, it's so good. Okay, so we got citrus. Oh, it's almond. That's what it is that I smell. So it's got citrus, almond. There you go. Citrus, almond, fresh, spicy, aromatic, nutty, and fruity. It has a tiny bit of sweetness from the fruitiness. And then, like I said, the citrus is definitely like a lemon citrus. So I doubt it's grapefruit. Let's look. It might be grapefruit. The nose behind this fragrance, top notes are grapefruit. It's grapefruit. Okay, it is grapefruit. Grapefruit and bergamot. Middle notes are green almond, neroli. Base notes are musk and vetiver. Like I said, I could smell the musk. It's got the citrus. I thought it was lemon, but it's grapefruit. And just something about it, man. It's masculine. It's fresh. It's great. I've gotten tons of compliments from it. My sister instantly wanted to know what it was so she could buy some for her husband. It's long lasting. These guys make great quality fragrances, high quality fragrances. They're not super cheap, but they're also not stupid, depending on which one you get, though, because they do have some expensive ones. But can't recommend this one enough. This one's my favorite one from this line, is this one. It's so easy to wear, man. It's literally just a super fresh, citrusy fragrance with a hint of sweetness that's very masculine, and it gives off. It makes you kind of happy, to wear when you're around people. People, when they smell it, they tend to brighten up a little bit. You tend to help people. People helping people. That's what we're doing here. We're helping people. No, it is good though. Picked up a 3-in-1 micron gunny juice with kangaroo leather. Is that going to be effective coming off 1200 grit diamond? Yeah, you'll be fine with that. So if you ever want to know, you can just look up 3 micron and 1 micron. 3 micron is about 5,000 grit, 4 to 5,000 grit. So that is a big jump from 1200 to that. But remember, that's not that big of a deal because you're using it for either to clean burr up or 2 for edge maintenance. So I would say you're going to be just fine with that. If you ever want to go lower though, like to 600 grit, I would recommend getting 9 micron, 9 or 6, one of the two. If you can get 9 or 6 for the toothier edges, if you ever desire it, right? Sometimes I think some steels do better with 600 grit than 1200, but to each their own. What do I think about Clubman Virgin Island Bay rum? I haven't tried it. I'm not sure. I don't think I've tried it. I did try a Virgin Island something, but I don't think it was that. How about the Veneve Orion stones? The Veneve Orions are, let me just remember which one they are. Okay. Oh, so they're the ones with the metal backing. Okay. So the Orions are good, but this is the thing, is that the Orions, I believe, are the same price as double-sided. So I think, I'm not positive on that, but they're close. So just look up, is a double-sided stone more or less expensive than 2 Orions, because you have to buy 2 Orion stones for every 1 Centaurion. Centaurions are double-sided. They're like $33. How much was that one that I was just looking at? 57. So one's 33 and it's double-sided, one's 57 single-sided. It is a banger. I can attest because I straight used all mine up, and now I'm saying, what we talking about? The red tobacco? This shit's fire. This Privé is fire. Oh, you're talking about the Privé, right? You're talking about this stuff? It is. It absolutely is. Shit's banging. A laptop would be great. I do all right index fingering the joint. Hunt and peck. Wish I could. Are we getting nasty in here? Oh, the Creed Virgin Island. Yeah, that's the one I tried. I tried that one. I didn't like it. It just wasn't my style. It was a little too beachy, a little too. I could see maybe if I was on vacation or something that being cool, but it is very like, you know, I've never really been into like the coconut drinks and stuff like that, and like I love pineapple and stuff, but like, you know, like the Malibu type drinks and shit. I never really liked those, and that's what it kind of reminds me of. So I know I got plenty of red tobacco. No, you know I got plenty of red tobacco. Stupid. Yeah, I know. I thought about that. Like, you're not out of that. There's no way you're out of that. If you bought a bottle of it, there's no way you're out of that, because nobody can run out of red tobacco. Not in like a 3-year period. But this stuff you can, because this stuff is great, but it's not nuclear like red tobacco. I didn't like it either, but my signature scent is absolutely Creed Silver Mountain Water. So I've tried that one too. I can't remember what I think about it though. I did try it. I don't remember for the life of me what that smelled like. So I can't speak on it. But I do like a lot of other things from that line, from that company. This one is let's find out. Let me shop it. I'll do it on Amazon first. $78. Wait, is that the same one? That's intense. This one's not intense. Never mind. Hold on a second. It's the wrong bottle. So I'm seeing some of their other bottles are ranging between 70 and 150. Most of them are under 100, but we're going to look up a better one from this. Let me look up from Max Aroma. The Max up. Oh, you son of a bitch. Platina pre. I hate pop-ups. They want it. All right, so they're out of stock. Damn. I don't know, probably like $100. That's what I'm guessing. There's different size bottles. They have smaller bottles, so this one might be a little bit more. I'm not sure, but they're not too crazy. Neevesknives Dog One wanted you to know, watch the Felon video thrice. Perfect tool to break a clinch, or if you go to the ground. We are mechanical beings. The Felon is the switch. Dog One wanted you to know, watch the Felon video thrice. Is that what it's called? The Felon video thrice? Perfect tool to break it. Oh, shit. My thing jumped. Well, that's what I just made. Was a knife to break you from a clinch. The idea is to go after limbs, but you can go after stomach, you can go after legs, you can go after whatever. This will shut you down quick, because, you know, like I've been cut so bad, you know, and stabbed. So I know what it does. Right. So I know like what this would do if I dragged it across my arm. I know what the outcome would be. In nerve damage, I would not be able to move my fingers. I wouldn't be able to even move my arms. I would be bleeding so bad that I would instantly want to attack that and deal with it, rather than doing whatever, like fighting or anything. I'm instantly going to stop, because I'm instantly going to feel my arm go numb and gone. So, and that's just from one little slash. But yeah, there's a lot of tools, man. There's a lot of tools. I just think it's good to have a variation. I think it's good to be prepared in multiple different ways. Sean with the 15 bounce skis. I'm trying to get into sharpening because I like to keep my blades pristine, but I'm not great with my hands. Can you recommend the Orange Ninja from Amazon? I cannot recommend that. I don't even know what that is. But if you want something for knife sharpening, you're going to have to spend a little bit of money, buddy, because the thing is that there are some very, very budget-friendly sharpening systems, but they all come with problems. Either one, it's going to take you a very long time to sharpen. And anybody who has like certain sharpeners, like say Lansky's, but has never tried, say, a Work Sharp Pro or a TSPROF or something like that, they can't understand how big the difference is between the two systems and how much better the other ones are. So I'd say spend a little bit of money, spend like $250, get the Work Sharp Professional. You'll get everything you need in that kit. You'll get all the stones, you'll get a strop, you'll get a ceramic, you'll get an angle finder, you'll get the sharpening system. Everything you need will come in the box for $250. Use my link down in the description. I think they have them at, let me check. Blade HQ, I think, has them. Let me just double check. If you're going to get one. But nope, they don't have that one. Let me just... Oh, right. Maybe they do. Yes, they do. $250. So yes, just go to my HAPSTONE, or sorry, what am I saying? Go to my Blade HQ link and just type in Work Sharp. That's it. Work Sharp. It's the first thing on Work Sharp's thing. It's the Work Sharp Professional Precision Adjust Knife Sharpener, $249.95. That is what I would recommend. Now, if you don't have that, if you don't have that much money, then you could go with a KME for $200. That's a good one. KME for $200 will come with like 4 or 5 diamond plates. You'll be okay. You'll have to buy other extras, and you know it'll wind up costing you more money eventually. That's why I said the Pro, you'll be everything you need, and then you can always upgrade it in the future. But the other one is next to that would be the Work Sharp Precision, which is like $60. Like $80 you can get with the upgrades, but compared to the Pro, it's worth just spending the more money. You know, and if you don't have it, you don't have it. Just get the Work Sharp Precision, then you'll be fine, but it'll just take you a lot longer to sharpen. It'll be a little bit more frustrating. You are one of the only few knife reviewers that actually reviewed the KIZER Carnivorous V, and it is currently $66. What? Is that real? No fucking way. I'm looking this up. You gotta be bullshitting. That knife's in titanium. Yeah. Holy shit, he's right. It's $66. Holy cow. This is an awesome knife. I'm gonna do a video now tomorrow. I'm gonna have to feature this. I can't believe this. This doesn't even make sense. $66. It's titanium. It's got a V cut up here in the top where the lock bar is actually cut out in a V2. So instead of it engaging just like a liner like this, it's engaging like this. So it's 2 pieces connecting. So it's supposed to be a stronger lock. I thought about testing it out. Now that it's only that much, maybe I should buy another one and break it just to see if it is stronger. But amazing thumb stud action, amazing access to the lock bar, 154 cm. They do a good job with it. Good micarta. It's great flipper. It has multiple deployments too. You got a flipper and thumb studs. Obviously, you can see that. The clip is reversible, but great knife. Go check out my video on it. This is an outstanding price for this knife. Like surprisingly outstanding. That's how much they sell their, you know, just cheap G10 knives for. Not cheap, but G10 knives, you know what I mean. Thank you, Todd. Yes, there is my link to my sharpening supplies. If you need to get anything, you can look up anything there. All you got to do is click on that link, and then you can literally search whatever you want for sharpening related. And I also have the store there, so you can go down to my sharpening supplies that I recommend. It's all in there. And if something's not available, you can try to search it up at the thing, up in the search bar. It's only $66 if you have Amazon Prime, $95 if you don't. Oh, they got you there, didn't they? Didn't they? I got Prime, so I'm prime time. Dog, you have tool called the Felon 2. So do I. How many you got? You guys are stealing my shit, or are you guys talking about the FLN? Because it's technically not the Felon, it's the FLN, because for legal reasons we couldn't call it the Felon. However, I do have a real Felon coming very soon, because I wanted the name to actually be Felon, not FLN. So this is the FLN, but we will have a Felon very, very soon. Even though this one should have been the real Felon because of what it is. But, you know, I don't know. Tim said that he talked to his lawyers or something, and they didn't like the thought of it since they deal with so many military and police personnel and everything, which I don't know why. It doesn't even make sense to me, because it's like, it's just a name. It's a name. It could be dog shit. What does it matter? Prime is $13 a month. Well worth it. Really? That's stupid. See, I feel like, man, if you pay the price, it should work everywhere. Everywhere. Is it the real Felon? That's the question. Is it the real Felon? Because, well, the new one's going to be the real Felon. This is, it's AKA the Felon. It's FLN AKA the Felon. But we do have a real Felon coming very soon. Yeah, this thing's dope. Look at this. We got both of them right here. Bang, bang. If you guys want to get one, they're available right now on TKELL Knives. Designed for the forward grip, not the ceramic grip, but doing damage. Train with it. We are going to be doing some new versions coming very soon with thinner geometry, probably an upgraded steel, and like I said in the video, a couple different retention spots for the sheath. But if you do get one, just know when you put the knife in the sheath, sink it forward. Listen. Here, let me just do it over here so you can hear this. Listen. Oh, just come over the mic. There we go. Oh, let me just, so you guys can see it. So it sinks in. So it pops. So you just sink it in that way. Here's the other one. See how it's sunk in? So now it pops. So you want to make sure, sometimes you hear a click, sometimes you don't, but it just sinks in because this nub is getting, that's where the tension spot is. So it has to curl in, and then you push it in that way, and it gets nice and snug in there, and then it works great. I had some problems right away. That's why I keep on sharing that, because I didn't realize it. Then all of a sudden I realized, like, oh shit, I'm not clicking it in all the way. Flight like Neeves. Or fight like Neeves. I read flight. Fight like Neeves. Yeah, there you go. I like that. I like that. I didn't even think of that. Hell yeah. All right, guys. We're getting to the end of the show. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Tomorrow we have the members live sharpening. Don't forget, we're going to do a members giveaway tomorrow. So if you are a member, show up tomorrow. We will have, yeah, they do make great sheaths. They absolutely do. And the next ones are going to be even better than these. And to me, I'm happy with these. I wish it did have the 2 retention spots, but the next batch will. It's still really good though. Like, I've been carrying the shit out of this, and it's been fine. Tomorrow, I'm not sure if we'll actually do a sharpening. We'll see. I'm not sure if Lacey's going to be able to show or not, but one thing I can say is that we will be doing a giveaway for sure. So tomorrow's giveaway will be at 12:15 Central Time, or right around there. Sometimes I'm a little late, but we might not do a sharpening. We might just do a sharpening talk. I'm not positive. Maybe we'll test these stones. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But like I said, giveaway tomorrow. Now, an update on the other giveaway that I was telling you guys about, where a company is donating an entire knife chest full of WE knives. So it's a knife chest. I think it's 1 or 2 stacks, and then it has a top thing, something like that. I can show you pictures if you want, but full of knives to one person. I seen somebody after we shut down the live the other day, they were like, why don't you split it up? I can't. It's not up to me. It's the company donating it. We's donating the knives. They're donating the chest. We're going to put them all together, and we're going to give it away to one of you guys. We're going to do a video on it. So all you'll have to do is leave a comment in the comment section with a word that I choose. I'm going to tell you guys a word. Whatever the word is, you have to write it in the thing. It might be a really weird sentence I might tell you to say just to see how bad you guys want it. No, I'm just joking. But that way, when I generate the comments, I can type that in and say that the only comments that are going to win are the comments that say this magic word. Today is my birthday, Rob. Happy birthday. Well, I do not have the knife chest yet, but it is coming soon. I'm supposed to get on a phone call with them on Monday, I think, and then they're you know, getting it all put together so they can get it to me. It's gonna be awesome. It's $57 on Mojave. eBay account free shipping. Damn, Vance, that's awesome. I do have a link to Mojave, by the way. I think CRKT made a too big jump to their so-called premium knives. Your thoughts on the new CRKT? So you have to understand. Yes, I do think it's a little high. So Chris right off the bat, yes, I do think it's a little high, but I also understand it. So they think about Hogue, okay? So Hogue charges was like 145, 150 for FRN and MagnaCut. FRN and MagnaCut. Very little steel with that knife. Very little, right? So now, if you were going to do G10, how much would it be? A little bit more, right? If you're going to do really good quality micarta, how much would it be, right? More than that. So they're paying them to do it, and then they have to make money off of it too, because they're just stamping their name on it. You know what I mean? Like, it's Hogue doing it. They have to pay Hogue to do it. Well, then they have to make something off the back end. You can't blame them for wanting to make money when they're a business. So I do think it's high priced, but I think it's because you're dealing with two USA companies, one of which is making the knife, one of which is selling it. So yeah, I do think it's a little high priced, but I understand, you know. Sometimes that's just the way it works. And I don't try to get too mad over those times. What I get mad about, this is when I get fucking mad. When I see a knife that I know for a fact costs less, let's say $150 to make, right? Let's just say on the high end, $150 to make, and these motherfuckers are selling it for $700. That to me is when it's like, I understand if you have a big market, right? If it's the demand is that high, I somewhat understand. Like, say the Evo, right? I understand it because the demand is insane. I get it. But with some knives, if the demand isn't there, you're just being greedy. The demand has to be there. But, you know, what time is the live tomorrow? 12:15 Central Time. 12:15 Central is usually what time we do it, give or take, but right around there. I try to do it right around noon. I need that win. He says, I think CRKT is going to get gobbled up soon. I don't know, man. I think that since they are willing to they're starting to work with higher quality knives, because they're all the ones I've tested recently have been really good quality. And I'm not saying they had poor quality before, because they did have some decent quality knives, like say the ones with the pivot lock, what was called the deadbolt or whatever. That was good. And they had a few other ones that were really good. But in many cases, they were, you know, the materials were lesser and more expensive. You know, sometimes it's like, yeah, the price might be a little more expensive, but at least they're using a premium steel. At least they're not trying to sell you HCR for $75, right? Anyways, guys, I appreciate all the support. Will you be getting more? Yes, it's going to be on there in just like next week. It'll be there. So it's already ordered. It should be on the site very, very, very soon. Next few days. So as soon as it's on the site, I will make sure I do a post or whatever. We try to get a lot of them. So I'm trying to stock up on that stuff, because I know it's going to be popular. And the more you guys use that stuff, I guarantee, I can like guarantee you're not going to care about any other stropping compound. Like, even like with me, I've tried every stropping compound you can imagine. Once I got the stroppy stuff, I don't care about any of the other ones, because it is that good. And anytime I go to use other stuff, now. The only stuff that can somewhat compare is like Gunny Juice. Other than that, any other stropping compound I use, just the concentration just isn't enough. The stropping stuff is very concentrated, which is what you want. What you don't want is low concentration and just a bunch of liquid, right? You spread it across the strop, and if you could see the diamonds, you would see there's hardly nothing in there. High concentration when you spread it, if you could see the diamonds, they're too microscopic to see, so I don't think you could see them. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to spray them or anything like that. They're very microscopic, but if you could see them, you would see that it's packed with them. Like I have a piece of paper showing, like, even like with these, like the diamonds and like the consistency in them. Anyways, work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace. See you guys tomorrow. If you're not a member, become a member. Link down in the description, and you can be a part of the giveaway tomorrow.